Power's out. Let's get turned back on. Hoorah.
Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 4 of this nostalgia trip. We are now finally on Riese, one of, if not the most popular map of all time. God, this this feels, it feels so good to just be on this map again. I don't know why. It just, a whole flood of nostalgia comes back to me when I play this map. 13 years later, I mean, look at this place. Playing these maps all these years later, in the last couple of weeks, has just been quite a nice little nostalgia trip, you know? Like, 13 years ago. It's so weird to say, but 13 years ago, these maps came out. This was, without a doubt, I am sure it was the same for everyone, this was my most played map on World at War. I played this map non-stop, even in solo lobbies, in public lobbies, with my friends. Like, it was such a fun map to play, and we're gonna kind of get into the reason as to why this map was so popular, but I just want to kind of reminisce just a little bit. So many things started in this little room here. The unloading a whole magazine and then knife them straight after, that came from this map. For me, that's when I first learned about that trick. After about 13 years, there have been multiple zombie endings. You know, there have been Moon, there's been Origins, there's been Revelations, but of all the map finales that we've had in recent times, Riese has what I would say the best finale, the best ending, I would say, to a COD Zombies game. And you're probably thinking, what do you mean by that? There was no ending. The zombie story did not end. Well, think about this, right? When this game ended, you didn't get zombies for another 2 years or so, and I'm sure back then in the community, many people probably didn't even know if there was going to be another zombies map. To end off a game, this map was the perfect ending for that, I would say. Why do I think this map has the perfect ending? And I think it comes down to the fact that this map is quite literally a culmination of everything World at War has built up, put into one map. Let's think about this. What made the other maps replayable? You have Naktor and Totem, which has its genuine bare bones survival mode. You have Verrückt with its extreme challenge. And you have Shinonuma with its creative ways to expand the story as well as the maps itself. However, obviously each map has its own problems. Naktor and Totem is very small, very bare bones, nothing much goes in it. Verrückt is extremely difficult. It would probably put off most zombie players. Shinonuma has a lot going for it, but is quite an easy map, as we discussed in the previous video. What does Riese have? It's not incredibly difficult. There's a lot of areas to this map. There's a huge width to this map. Open areas, but also clustered areas. So it balances out that difficulty and empowerment that Shinonuma has perfectly. It also adds so many new things as well. For instance, the teleporter. When you activate a teleporter, obviously there's a little countdown, so you have to be kind of quick. I remember doing this so much, my friends, where one of us would be on the catwalk, which we're going to talk about in a second. I remember so many times my friend would be on the catwalk, and then I would have to just sit there and wait on the catwalk when my friend would do the chore of linking the teleporters. Oh, good times, good times. So this map has a good balance of open areas and clustered areas, and that actually kind of limits the player to where they can go, because you can really only train in 2 areas within this map, maybe a few more if you really are a challenging person. But it also leads to loads of cluster areas, and one really good example of an extremely clustered area is a little area where the Juggernaut sits. This area is such a terrible place to be that if you have to pick the right moment to be able to actually go and get Jug, because if you do it at the wrong time, your game can end very quick. So it's not an easy map, but it's not something that even beginners can't play. It's a map for every single player to play, which is probably the great reason as to why it was added within Black Ops 3 as one of the starting maps. It balances out perfectly between hard, difficult gameplay, because Shadows of War was not an easy game for beginners, but it also adds onto the things that the previous maps have done. When you've activated all 3 of these teleporters, it leads to one of the best features ever to be added within Call of Duty Zombies. It leads to the Pack-a-Punch. This thing is astonishing, amazing, in fact, beautiful. And honestly, it's probably one of the things that people come back to. And the beautiful thing about actually using the Pack-a-Punch itself is that when you Pack-a-Punch it, it gives people a whole variety of different weapons. I will put in my M1 carbine in the machine. Before putting it in the machine, it'll come out as a semi-automatic weapon. But as soon as it comes out of the machine, it becomes a full auto machine gun. This little feature alone makes the replay value of this map insane. Because look, imagine what other guns will have different effects when you Pack-a-Punch. That's what people think. The sky was the limit when having Pack-a-Punch in the game. It made everything so different, so unbelievably fun. Honestly, there are barely any flaws with this map. The only other thing you could probably say is that sometimes this map can be a bit easy, but even then, it's still tough because the areas you could train in, the areas you can camp in, won't always last forever. One area in particular is the infamous and probably the most famous camping spot of all time, the Catwalk. This thing, I've had way too many childhood memories sitting on this spot on World at War, as well as Black Ops 1. Like, I can't fathom it. Just sitting here right now, I am being transported back in time. Now, I guess this map is also the first for doing one other thing, and that is actually, like, now, if I had to say which one is the best, which Riese is the best version, because there are 3 in total. I mean 4 if you count the last gen one. The clear winner for this, which is the best Riese, has to go to Black Ops 1's version. Black Ops 1 took what World at War did and literally made it so unbelievably good. The zombies were fixed. There was no bug with the Wonder Wolf that would instantly kill you. There was no other little glitches here and there on Riese. It was just flat out the best version. And I will say I played Riese the most on Black Ops 1 online, solo, and with my friends. Public lobby on Riese on Black Ops 1 was the pinnacle for me of COD Zombies Online. I played Black Ops version of Riese online so much. It was chaotic fun. And I will always cherish those memories of me hopping online. Black Ops V version of Riese is good, is actually great. Though not for me personally, because it doesn't really challenge me. It's a very easy map compared to, well, the other 2. But it is perfect for beginners. So if you are a beginner zombie player and you want to experience what classic zombies feels like, give the Giant a go on Black Ops 3, because honestly that version of it is really, really good. But what about the story? Because remember, the story started within Shinonuma, and does it carry over into this map? Short answer, fucking yes it does. So this map adds a lot to the COD Zombies lore. This is where Rick Toffin did his research on an element called Element 115. I don't really want to explain a huge amount of it, but we also learn about new characters like Dr. Maxis, we learn about Samantha, we even learn about a little dog called Fluffy, which is the hellhound that we see within this map. And we also learn about a new character, the Hangman. The story behind it was so intriguing. I was like, why is there a dude just there? And it's hidden as well. What happened to him? Why is he like this? What was the reason? So you remember the radio that was played on Shinonuma? Well, that has basically been escalated up to 10 with multiple radios spread throughout this map. Like when I listened to those for the first time, my head was flooded with, oh, so what happened to this person? What happened to that person? Oh, so that's the reason why this happened. I quite literally became an Easter egg hunter after this map was made. I wanted to know things. The story is, and the characters as well, amazing. New quotes, new interactions, you can't ask for much more. But I don't really know many issues with this map as a whole, to be honest with you. This map is quite literally and quite could possibly be the perfect map. It has traps, it has guns, it has the bloody pack-a-punch, it has the perks we've known since Verrucht. It's refined its open area element that was created in Shinonuma. It's mixed it with those clustered areas. I have not at all spoken about songs within this game. The songs in each map are so good to listen to. Verrucht has a very nice soundtrack. Shinonuma has a good one as well. Beauty of Annihilation on Riese, top tier. One thing I've actually forgotten to mention completely. The story is really good with this map. And one thing that really helps with this is the atmosphere. We gotta look around our surroundings as the radios explain the situation. And it just makes it all that more intriguing. And I think that's a lot of things like maps nowadays kind of miss. I don't really listen to radios anymore because one, when I sit there and listen to it, I'm not treated with an atmosphere like Riese where it's a bit more bleak. You're a bit like, you're questioning why has this happened. My personal favorite radio was the Hangman one. It was one of the first ones that I actually like physically sought out to listen to because I was so curious as to what happened to this random soldier on the outskirts of the map. Generally believe Riese to be not the best zombies map of all time, but it is the perfect zombies map. It allows for newcomers to play a map with new features without feeling too challenged. It allows the veterans to challenge themselves by going into those incredibly high rounds with all the clustered areas, the onslaught of constant zombies. It is a map for everyone. It is a map for every player. It is a map for every single soul who wants to play zombies, and it is no wonder that Riese is played more than any other map within this game. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Like, we have completed World at War, and it's honestly been amazing during this little trip here. And I might even just try and do this game more in the future because I love this game. So please be sure to subscribe, by the way. Thank you all for coming, and I'll see you all in the next video where we will be touching on a new game and a new generation of COD zombies. Thank you, and peace.